Hello my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with the latest in deck technology. And for today's deck tech, we're going to be covering a deck that I've wanted to play for a little while, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to build it. So long story short, this deck actually is something that took several iterations to do, mostly because it started as a budget deck, but it kind of sucked. So we decided instead we're going to go all out with the budget because, hey, it's Elesh Norn, and mommy here obviously demands the best. So with that, we're going to go into Historic and see if we can put together a deck that goes insane with value. Real quick, let's look at the stats of this before we explain in detail what we're trying to do. We have 33 creatures in the deck, we have 4 non-creature spells, and they are only instants. We're running an average mana curve of about 2.9, which is a little high for what we're doing, but we do have some ramp to support that. And of course, we're in Abzan colors. Again, I'm not gonna lie, looking at the screen right now, this is definitely a non-budget deck, so keep that in mind if you are interested in maybe say a budget version. I'll put that together for you at the end of the video. So if you haven't already guessed, or if you've been living under a rock, we're playing of course with Elesh Norn to get maximum value with our triggers. For those who are unaware, let's go over it real quick. Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, is a 5 mana 4/7 Vigilance Phyrexian Praetor. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. Basically, we get to ETB our triggers 2 times, and our opponent doesn't get any ETB triggers. So that's the simplest version. But otherwise, each one of our creatures has an ETB trigger of some way, shape, or form. So let's go over them also. We're just going to start with our ramp with Gilded Goose. We have Galagreators, Prosperous Innkeeper, and Llanowar Visionary. They all provide us some kind of ramp in the form of either making temporary with food tokens, treasure tokens. Llanowar actually is a mana dork, and it also helps us draw a card. Speaking of card draw, we also have Wall of Blossoms for that, and it's a great blocker in the early game. Skyclave Apparition and Ravenous Chupacabra are our pseudo removal. With the Skyclave, it basically takes away anything that's a non-land, non-token permanent with a mana value of 4 or less. Ravenous Chupacabra is a clean answer to any target creature on the battlefield. We have Timeless Witness. This card helps us just bring back target cards from our graveyard to our hand, and actually goes hand in hand with a combo that we're going to do, but we'll explain that in just a second. Otherwise, in order for us to ensure we get extra ramp, we have Montrak Glory Dominus, which doubles up our tokens. We can sacrifice a couple extra tokens in a pinch if we have to, just to put an indestructible counter on it to prevent it from getting blown up. And as far as maximizing the value with Elesh Norn, we have Icewind Stalwart and Wisp-Weaver Angel. Both of these cards basically do the same thing with slight different variations. The Angel basically exiles a target creature we control and then brings it back to the battlefield, i.e. a blink effect. Icewind Stalwart basically does the same thing, however it does it to a non-warrior creature we control. But otherwise those cards will just help sure that we can get a combo going. If these are out, say, and maybe say a Prosperous Innkeeper or Galagreators, you imagine that not only we get a ton of treasure, but also we get some life gain just to stabilize ourselves. Now, I just mentioned earlier we do have some combos to get to victory. So with Timeless Witness, we want to bring back a card from our graveyard to our hand. And normally you can do that with any of our creatures. However, there is one specific card we want, and that's our non-creature, Eerie Interlude. This 3 mana instant allows us to exile any number of target creatures we control and return those cards to the battlefield under our control at the beginning at the next end step. Say maybe you cast off that Eerie Interlude and you then get everything off of the field. It then brings it back at the end step. Timeless Witness now comes back in. It then brings back the Eerie Interlude, and then you can continue this loop forever. If you have a couple extra creatures out, the value just keeps getting better and better. You have Elesh Norn out, and well, you can imagine right now, it gets really insane with all 3 of these comboing off. But otherwise, that's basically the gist of what we're trying to do. As far as how we get to victory, I didn't mention it earlier, but you can kind of figure out now. Corpse Knight here is what we're going to use to get to our victory. As you can tell, we're not really an attacking style deck. We're not super aggro. We just want to outvalue our opponent. So with Corpse Knight out, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control, an opponent loses 1 life. This added up with, say, Elesh Norn basically means that they will lose 2 life, and if we start blinking everything out with it, with using Wisp-Weaver Angel, Icewind Stalwart, or Eerie Interludes for massive flickering effects, with Corpse Knight out, we can then finish off our opponent very quickly. Going over your land base, we have Castle Ardvale, Ijano Seed of the Empire, some plains, Boseiju, we have a couple forests, and a bunch of our dual lands with 1 tap land in Dotha Triome. We need that black mana, of course, to ensure that we can get Corpse Knight out in case we don't have any treasure tokens. tokens. Aside from that, as far as your sideboard is concerned, you're going to use Archon of Emerias. These just ensure that your opponent just doesn't combo off. Knight of the Autumn is mostly for artifact and enchantment hate, but also that life gain can help stabilize us. Luminous Broodmoth protects our entire game plan because even if our opponent blows up everything, when it all comes back with flying counters, we can then just get rid of them with Eerie Interlude, resetting those creatures and ensuring that Luminous Broodmoth can keep bringing stuff back if we have to deal with multiple wraths. Yashrin is just here to prevent our opponent from doing any sacrificial nonsense. Soul Guide Lanterns are going to be here as our graveyard hate. 9 Lives and Solemnity are here as options just to give us a plan B to the deck and say like your blinking effects don't work on our opponent and maybe they have a different way of getting to victory. An extra copy of Skyclave Apparition and Ravenous Chupacabra, and also plan C to it, and the jankiest option is you can also use Hornet Queen and Crater Hoof Behemoth in tandem. Bringing both of these in gives us not only a ton of tokens to trigger off against our opponent, but also gives us a direct damaging win con versus them. But otherwise, that's the whole deck for you in a nutshell, everyone. I'll be honest with everybody, I've only tested this deck a handful of times in Historic and Explorer, and I will say right now, we actually did have a lot more success in Historic even before we even changed the deck over to cater to that format. But otherwise, you tell me, do you think this deck actually has what it takes, or are we way too fair to even compete against some of the crazier decks in the format? Well, there's only one way to find out, everybody. So let's go ahead, take this deck in, and see if it has what it takes. But before we continue, if you do like any of the content that I do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck decks, and so much more. Okay, everybody, so here we go. We are playing our Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, blinking, super, I don't even know what to say. It's just a ton of value on and here in Historic. But otherwise, let's go ahead, let's see what we got here. So, okay, so we got the Timeless Witness to bring stuff back, Skyclave. We have 2 Elesh Norn. This is actually not bad, but we don't really have any payoffs to then get Elesh Norn going. We're gonna keep this still and see what happens. Okay, so our opponent is doing a little bit of mulliganing. That's actually good for us. We're gonna play our Triumph first. We have no turn 1 play anyway. Snow Covered Swamp. What do we got? Shambling Ghast. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. All right, great. We have actually Wall of Blossoms. That's actually really nice for us. Pathway. Wall of Blossoms. Let's draw a card. It's a great blocker for now, so this will help us out for the time being. Changer's Edict. A little annoying, but that's actually fine. We got plenty of time to catch up against our opponent. Overgrown Farmland. Skyclave. Get rid of that Shambling Ghast, so no value for it. Another Shambling Ghast. This is fine. Corpse Knight. Okay, so we are getting close to where we want to be at. Let's bring back Timeless Witness. We will then bring back our Wall of Blossoms. Not a very crazy good target, per se, but the nice thing about that is, at the very least, we can keep drawing cards off of it. Deadly Dispute. This is fine. Unfortunately, we did lose there our Timeless Witness, but we have another copy in there, so we're not worried. We want to get one of our Eerie Interludes. Oh, Tergrid. That's interesting. Is that going to come back to hurt us? I guess we'll find out soon. So, let's see. Okay, so with that, time to bring in Mother. No attacks. Okay, so with Elesh Norn out, hopefully we can then start outvaluing our opponent before they have any way to deal with us. Swamp. Eye Twitch. Shambling Ghast. Eye Twitch. Oh wow, they ran out their whole hand. So it's only a bunch of little creatures, but this is actually not too shabby. Okay, so here's how we do this, everybody. Corpse Knight. Plains. Galagreeters. Doubling those triggers. Okay, the deck is starting to do its thing. Wall of Blossoms. A ton of triggers go off. Okay, okay. So, make some treasure tokens. Gain life. Slowly drain our opponent out. Draw some cards. Wow, okay, so not too shabby. The biggest thing, again, our opponent wants to do is they want to start losing their stuff, but as long as we don't really attack, they can't really stop our combo. So we have everything we need now. This is actually great. We need to then bring in Wall of Blossoms. More triggers stack up. Treasure token. Gain life. Drain them out. Draw some more cards. We will bring in Timeless Witness, our second copy. We then bring back our other copy. No attacks. Wow, we're actually going to drain our opponent out. Wow, this is actually working. This is actually working a lot better than I thought it was. Torment of Hailfire, ×3, everybody. So, 1, 2, 3. That wasn't actually too shabby. Okay, I think we have our opponent here now. So all we just need to do is just start gaining life, and we'll be fine. Greeters, gain 2 life. Tap treasure token. Drain them out. We really only need now our... Oh, okay. We got Castle Ardenvale coming down. Gala Greeters. More value. We then... Wall of Blossoms. We really could use an Eerie Interlude, but this is actually still working, more or less. Gain 2 life again. Treasure token. More drain. More card draw. We will play Llanowar Visionary. This is so crazy. The deck is actually working. It's actually working, everybody. Okay, let's go and swing. Even if we lose anything, it doesn't really matter at this point. We basically beat our opponent here. And there you go, everybody. That's the deck for you. Not too shabby, right? Okay, everybody, so here we go. We are playing our super awesome Enter the Battlefield Mommy Knows Best awesome deck. And, okay, so we definitely have a lot of ramp and card draw. This is actually pretty solid. We just need to hopefully get to one of our payoffs. Hopefully we can get to that. And, okay, is this to be another combo deck? Oh boy, well, we'll see. Alright, Forest down, everyone. Gilded Goose. I sometimes wondered, is our deck too fair and is everything now just combos? I guess we'll find out right now. We'll just take that damage because I don't want us to take anything that loses our Gilded Goose. Faithless Looting. Yep, looks like it might be a combo deck again. Oh boy, we're in for a treat. Yay. Okay, they got a Crater Hoof Behemoth. If we can somehow get out Elesh Norn, we're actually not too shabby of a spot. So we just need to get there. Prosperous Innkeeper. So I think what we're going to have to do here is... I didn't want to have to sacrifice our tokens yet, but we're going to see if we can hopefully just try to start gaining some ground here. Opponent goes swinging. No block yet. Need to keep all of our pieces alive. Soak is in. Table the Mirror Breaker. Always a good card. We have a lot of Gala Graders. This is actually pretty nice. Okay. Overgrown Tomb. Gala Graders. Start the triggers going. Treasure token. Gain some life. No attacks. So again, we have all of our pieces now ready, but we just need to get to a payoff. Although this Crater Hoof Behemoth is scaring me a little bit. I hope we can actually get there before our opponent does their thing. But these decks actually move pretty quick. I already got 4 lands out. Forbidden Friendship. Oh dear. Wow. Our opponent's got all their tokens. Unfortunately, we have to take the hit here. It's really annoying, but some way, somehow, just gotta believe everybody. Okay. Jono. Alright, so here we go. Gala Readers. Number 3. Tap treasure token. Tap treasure token. Llanowar Visionary. Gives us something beefier to work with. Alright, all of our stuff goes off. So we're pulling off things here. Our deck is doing stuff. Alright, still another land. That's okay. I mean, again, our deck is pulling off its stuff. We just gotta get to our payoff. Oh, I sure hope we get to that payoff soon. Our opponent is running out of cards here. They're digging deep as fast as they can. We just need to turn off that Crater Hoof Behemoth. Where is Elesh Norn, everybody? Alright, so they toss some stuff. They go swinging. It's still awkward because we really can't afford to block right now. We just have to somehow go off. We have to go off quickly before our opponent does. We have plenty of tokens now. Yikes. Okay, so Prosperous Innkeeper. Making more treasures. Treasures. More treasures. Alright, our last card. Come on, deck. I believe in us. Gain some life. Gain some life. Gain some life. Draw a card. Oh, okay. Well, that was good. All right, we got Elesh Norn on the draw.
This is where the fun begins.
That was awesome. That's exactly what we wanted. Woo! Yeah. Okay. We actually get to go off here. Okay. That wasn't too bad, everybody. Okay, no attacks. Okay, so we got Mom on board here. So I think that does it. Is that enough to stop our opponents? Transmogrify. But Elesh Norn turns it off. Crater Hoof Behemoth doesn't do anything. Oh my goodness. And it doesn't even matter if they have the Kiki Jiki to get another copy. Yes, we stopped the combo. Yes. That was great, everybody. That was so sweet. Oh, yes. Okay, everybody, here we go. Mommy knows best. We are playing Elesh Norn's super duper heavy value enter the battlefield trigger, whatever you want to call it. It's still just something that is super sweet to play. In any case, all right. So we don't obviously have Elesh Norn in our hand right now, but we do have a little bit of removal. We have some ways to ramp, and we have ways to bring stuff back if they get blown up. So this should work out for us. All right, so we'll start off with the plains, and we'll pass, of course. All right, opponent puts down their land, and okay, so we come up with Temple Garden, Gala Greeters, Sulphur Falls. All right, Blast Zone, Melt Brew. Annoying, but that's okay. We can bring it back with Timeless Witness if we absolutely have to. Oh, we got another Gala Greeters. Okay, that's fine too. Okay, and then we will pass. What is our opponent trying to do with this one? They have a Blast Zone. They have a Sulphur Falls. Harmonic Project. Okay, okay. It looks like it's the Shaman deck. Okay, that's interesting. Well, if we can get to Mother, then we actually would be in a good spot with that. But first off, let us get rid of that Harmonic Prodigy with our Skyclave Apparition. Normally, I hate this card, but obviously when we get to use it, it's pretty awesome. So we will create our treasure token and exile that. Consider Prowess. Prowess doesn't really do anything against us in this one. All right, off the field. Not too bad so far. We just need another treasure, then we can have Ravenous Chupacabra also do its thing. Soulscar Mage. That's fine. Mentor's Guidance. Make a copy of it. Gonna doing their thing. But if we can either get to our Elesh Norn or we can get to at least a couple more mana, we can just start doing our loops. Okay. Steam Vents. Castle Ardvale's fine. Okay, so let's see, how do we do this? Timeless Witness. We're going to bring back our Gala Greeters. Make a tap treasure. Bring back the Gala Greeters. Oh, wait, I forgot it has that stupid annoying ability. Oh, boy. Alchemy cards, everyone. Yay. We're still going to cast it regardless. So if I'm not mistaken, because of that ability, does that mean it dies instantly? Oh, actually, okay, so we get to keep it. I thought at first it just lost that ability. Okay, well, I'm overthinking things, everyone. Does our opponent have removal? They do. So they get back their Harmonic Prodigy in the form of a token, but we actually have a Ravenous Chupacabra also waiting in the wings. Mentor's Guidance again. Again, a little scary, but this is fine. We just need to get to our value, and we'll be okay. Actually, we could use some card draw right here. That's actually what we really need. All right. Ooh, okay. Mom is here, everybody. Okay, so let's do this. Older Path. Does our opponent have a counterspell? If they have a counterspell, we are in a bit of trouble, but we do have mana to pay for stuff. Exit. Okay. Alchemy cards again. Oh, okay. That's interesting. But there we go. We got Mom. And here comes the value. Woohoo! Yeah! Make those tokens, everybody. Gain that life. Gain that life. Okay. So again, once again, our mother of machines, Mom, has got us Wizard's Lightning. Annoying, because they're going to weaken it now, but that's still fine, because we still get the triggers to go off. Melt through on Gala Greeters, interesting. Okay. Soul Scar Mage again. 2 cards left, opponent. Reckless Charge. This is fine. We're okay, everybody. Let us block the illusion. You'll see why in a bit. Down to 16. Okay. Prosperous Innkeeper. This is good. Make some more value. Gain some more life again. The value trade once again resets. Opponent taking up their blast zone. They're getting ready. But we already have our value. And at the same time, here's what we're going to do. Ravenous Chupacabra. Double triggers. And there you go, everybody. We did it. We once again overcame with our Elesh Norn. Mom does know best. And there you have it, everybody. So that was our deck. Mother does know best. Wow, this deck actually is pretty awesome when it goes off. Now, granted, yes, we didn't get to see any of our cool loops with Timeless Witness and Eerie Interlude. We didn't even have to get the Corpse Knight win. As I mentioned earlier, you put out Mom on the field, and a lot of opponents, once they realize how much it shuts them down, they just scoop. So that actually really helped out in our favor. But again, I'm not going to pretend like this deck is absolutely perfect. As I did mention earlier, you are susceptible to spot removal a lot, so be aware of that if you do play this deck. Still, I definitely recommend this deck if you do want to play something in Historic that's maybe not a full-on combo deck, but I will also caution you on one other thing. The format still is very dependent on a lot of combos out there, so be aware of that if you want to take this deck into Historic. Does that mean you should ignore this deck? Definitely not. It is fun when it does go off. This deck is absolutely amazing, even in the form that we currently have. But for those of you out there that did wait this long, my true fiery friends, if you really want to play this on a budget, the budget mostly is going to cut the majority of it from the land base, so it is still doable, but also there are going to be some minor cuts to the creature base. Instead of our Goose, we'll now have the Grazer instead. We'll otherwise want to keep everything in the 2-drop slot as is. Your 3-drop slot now has Annex Sentry versus the Skyclave Apparition, and otherwise that's mostly it. There actually isn't anything major that you're going to lose from this, but still it is pretty effective. But one more time, I do emphasize having tap lands will hurt because there's going to be moments where you really want to get something out on curve and it will throw you off. So be careful if you do want to give that a try. Otherwise, your sideboard also takes a massive hit, but is still playable. You have Deafening Silence now to stop combo decks. You're going to have those extra copies of Ravenous Chupacabra and Annex Sentry. Soul Guy Lantern still sticks around. We will have Reclamation Sage to be your artifact enchantment removal, and Tyvard Stand can help scale up in the early, mid, or late game to maybe give one of your creatures a giant boost of power. You may be using all those treasures to get maybe a beatdown win. But otherwise, you tell me in the comments below, what do you think of this deck? Are you a fan of it? Do you actually enjoy these kinds of decks where you get to double up on triggers and gain a ton of extra value? I don't know about you, but I actually do love these kinds of decks, and maybe I am a little bit nostalgic for fair style Magic where I'm not trying to do crazy combos. I just want to try to get a ton of value, make a ton of life, gain a bunch of card advantage. However you want to look at it, it is still fun. Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines is definitely not a card to be underestimated. So whether you do want to play this on the budget that I showed you at the end of this video, or maybe you want to check out what we did and go all out, and if you can get Mother out on the battlefield, I will assure you, you will definitely not be disappointed. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later.